But it doesn't change just because the desert is part of the thing constantly in creativity.
Yes.
I don't want to diminish the absolute discomfort that it just objectively is to just be fucking failing in real time.
I always try to remind people that like outside of the people that are maybe having the hits at the moment any given year, like the vast majority of very successful songwriter producers, people who are actually trying to make songs from scratch, it's like a major league batting average at best. Like you make a lot of things that aren't very good in order to make things that are great.
That's a great analogy.
Like major league batting average is like, if you 3 out of 10 hit, you get on base, 3.5 out of 10, you're in the Hall of Fame. If you write 3 out of 10 songs that are really good, you're better than everyone who's ever existed. I feel like I don't know anybody who like writes great songs more than, I don't know, 1 out of 10 maybe, or like the best people, like great songs. There's a lot of people who are talented, and I've done songs with them, and we're like, fuck, this is such a vibe. And you listen a week later, and you're like, it has like the arcs and the sound, but it just doesn't like do that thing. And that's over and over and over. It's very hard to write lasting, emotionally powerful songs. But the reason I say that, I don't want, people who are starting out who maybe look at someone like you and you've had this huge Harry Styles hit and Jeff Basker and you worked on these amazing things. Like it's a very low percentage. Like, don't get discouraged that you're making bad music. You need to make lots and lots of bad music, because if you're making if you're taking risks, you're going to miss a lot. And go look at, there's one of my favorite things about Pharrell, who we talked about earlier. Pharrell dominated this era in the 2000s from the Noriega hits and all the hip hop shit and Mystical to like the Britney Spears and No Doubt, Hella Good, and like all these Pharrell and Chad together doing all these things. And then there was this period on his Wikipedia starting about 2008, 2009, when all of a sudden everything became that like 128 European influence, Katy Perry, Pink, everybody was doing house music. And his Wikipedia went from like hits. And then it was like unreleased song, Pharrell, unreleased song. And, Pharrell is one of, I think, the greatest creators in music history. And he makes a lot of stuff that isn't that
Mount
great.
Rushmore.
Yeah. And that's what the process is enjoying the, like, let's keep chasing, let's keep trying, let's try to be more vulnerable, let's try to find it. And you miss so much. It's so much. I have so many bad songs on my own drive, like just atrocious things. But that's okay. I just want to like plant a flag there and be like, it's totally fine, and you should keep making stuff even if a lot of it's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty important. It's also, I think it's also, important to say that there's not really a choice. Like, you either have to like completely give up or keep making bad stuff till it's good. Like, yeah, it's a black and white kind of crossroads. And I think that made me really uncomfortable early on in my music career. I was like, I have to keep going, and it sucks. So it was a real thing. So, yeah.
But I will say the highs, there's times when I get down on making music all the time, where I'm like, I have a week where I'm just like slogging through stuff. Somebody doesn't like the production I did. The songs aren't very good. I have to redo a whole drum thing on the thing that I thought was going to be super easy. And I'm just like, I don't know, do I take a couple of days off? And I'm like, I just don't feel motivated. And then the next week I'll get in some random session that a friend I like, and we're just going to hang out. And then we spend a day and we just make some shit. And I'm like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I'm so happy right now. Oh my God. I don't want to do anything else with my life. But I know that there's going to be another 2 weeks at some point. Maybe it's the next 2 weeks they're just shitty. And that's part of, that's part of the thing.
You're very smart. You're very smart with that, Matt. Like, I really think you're very much in the pocket of, like, which I think brings us then to, mental health is very important. let's stay on our mental health game, because, it's just like, it's going to be a roller coaster. And if you really ride it and take it too personally and really see yourself as the whole vehicle and responsible for everything, and, and you get dark real fast, So
it's like, take responsibility and do all the things you can do, but don't be too hard on yourself when you make bad things, because the best people in the world make lots of bad things. And that's what being a creative person is.
Yeah.
I also feel like you and I, if I'm loving this. I'm sure people are enjoying this. I'd love to do this again with you. We could talk about mental health for like, well, we've already talked about it for many hours in person. We can talk about it for hours and hours.
No, I love it.
Thanks for watching. Just a reminder, all of this content is free. There's no secret knowledge here. There's no Patreon. We don't read ads. We don't have sponsors. We're just trying to build a knowledge base. All that we ask in return is that you share it with somebody. Thanks so much.